2006 Lexus GS 350. Toyota designed this car. I just drive the heck out of it, brother. Long gone. That's what this car was designed for. It was designed for 300 kph drifts all up and down the Tokyo skyline. We were there. We were in Japan. We saw these things ripping every day. This is the most popular car ever made. You've seen one. You probably saw 10 today, didn't you? Wrong. That's because what I just described, is a fantasy world that didn't work out for Lexus when they brought this car to market. Everything that we were told about this car, it was a lie. They lied to me, they lied to you. I won't stand for that. Me, I fight for the little guy. The car is pretty good, just in general. It's rear-wheel drive, it's got a 3.5-liter V6 motor. It's not exceptional in any of its qualities, but the things that I like about it really make me want to keep it forever and make me not want to turn it into junk. We've got mirrors that fold automatically when you lock the car. Look, I'll show you a magic trick. See that button? It's not just on the driver's side, although you might be confused. I thought the left side was the driver's side. Wrong, because this right here is a right-hand drive Japanese domestic market import, or JDM. You may have heard that word. You may have even associated that word with people who are very rude and have questionable hygiene habits. Not me. I'm an upstanding citizen because I drive a Lexus. My key, I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I drive a Lexus. See how dirty it is? That's a testament to how long I've owned this car. That's a testament to how great this car is. The turn signals work on a dime every single time. With one finger, I was able to pop the hood open, and with two hands, I'm gonna be able to open up the hood. And we'll see that beautiful roaring beast that sits underneath this plasticky, lightweight hood. 3.5 liters, 6 cylinders. What else could you want? What else could a boy ask for? 315 PS or 310, 312 horsepower, around there, with a whopping 278 pound-feet of torque, which would be impressive if the car didn't weigh 3,800 pounds. That's right, you heard me right, 3,800 pounds. My Corolla that I had before this was 1,100 pounds lighter with me in it. 1,100 pounds. That's a pretty sizable difference. Sure, the Corolla had 135 horsepower. It was a 2010, it was the same color as this. It was 135 horsepower, but it was 1,000 pounds lighter. It was a ton lighter. You know, this car has a road presence. It has dynamism. It has, you know, you could drive this car through a brick wall and it wouldn't feel it, you know. Sad thing about this car and about the beginning of this era of automotive design was, look at the amount of hard plastics that are covering up everything under the hood. You know, they don't want you to look at it. They don't want you to work on it. Everything is covered in these plastics. You know, I wasn't just born yesterday. I didn't just watch my first Scotty Kilmer car review yesterday. There's plastic. They're putting the plastic everywhere. There's plastic. You know, that's not me. I'm a seasoned car veteran. This is my second car that I've owned. And I took really good care of my first car, and I'm gonna take really good care of this car. This car's gonna serve me. I've put about 20,000 kilometers on it, and all I've had to worry about changing have been tires and oil and the battery. But the battery was because it came with a dead battery from Japan, and they really screwed me over. And that was a tough day. That was a really bad day, actually. You know, Brian Spillner, Brian O'Connor in Fast and Furious drives a Toyota Supra. This is not the Supra. This is not one of the interesting Toyotas. This is not anything. This, basically, the engine architecture here was developed from the 4Runner. What's the 4Runner? The 4Runner is what your dad picks you up in from soccer practice. It's what the semi-coolish, kind of weird dads would drive in the early 2000s, and then the normal guys would drive in the mid-2000s. But this is not anything. And as we pan around to see lower, the lower area, we can see they were really proud of this car. Even the license plate holder backer says Lexus GS. You don't get this confused with one of the other rear-wheel drive sedans that they were selling at the time, which was the LS or the IS. Now, 2006, 2005 in Japan was when this car was officially put to market. It was a pretty important year for the history of Lexus. They were headed into their 4th generation of cars, not kicking and screaming like some of the other German manufacturers, but they kind of embraced the new technological era and the new design language that they would have for the rest of the 2000s. You know, the first gen GS, the JZS 147, was not a very popular car. In Japan, marketed as the Toyota Aristo, and then later the more famous JZS 160 Aristo would come to replace that car. Those cars were not used in movies. They were not, the only instance I can ever remember of a 2nd gen Aristo or 2nd gen Lexus GS being used in a movie was seasons 2 and 3 of The Wire, when one of the characters' mothers buys a GS, and that's probably in 2004 in Baltimore. That was a pretty baller whip. The car really isn't anything, I'm not gonna say it's nothing special, because this is the most special car in the world here, but it's got a little oomph to it, you know, it's got power, it's got beautiful, it's got, I won't say exactly that they're kind of feminine curves, but they're interesting. They sort of line up the car in a different way that's not dissimilar to a Honda S2000 maybe? Maybe a Honda S2000? Maybe one of the sportiest cars of all time? It also has curves like that. Toyota were stealing from Honda in the design studio. Driving dynamics, it's rear-wheel drive. It drives like a boat. It weighs probably 8,000 pounds. It's, you know, does it feel like it? Most of the time. Does it get stuck in the winter and I'm scared to take it out every single time there's snow because we live in the fucking Northwest and it gets really spooky and it's icy and black ice and I don't want to end up like the bassist for Metallica? Of course it happens. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? Huh? Not drive this beautiful little baby girl? Not drive this into a Dominican woman's white Toyota Sienna and leave streaks all over the side in the parking garage because you're just trying to rush to get to college on time? What are you gonna do about it? It's an automatic only. Do not ask if we can stick swap it because it's impossible. It's been attempted and the last time they did that was 1945 and we know what happened in Japan then, don't we? The beautiful language, the beautiful design language of the car, it just speaks volumes, you know? This we see here, this is some kind of advertisement for probably a manga of some kind or some kind of anime, as they would say over there, across the pond. You know, this is the auction where I bought it from, Nikkyo, which is almost like my name. One of those interior shots. We got an old water bottle in there. We got a beautiful door card. You know, all in all, it's not a bad value proposition. But we have to address the elephant in the room. Why this car? Why this car when for virtually the same money as many people in my high school told me when I decided to import this car, but you could have bought a Skyline, dude. Dude, Nick, you could have bought a Skyline. Skyline. Let me tell you something about those JDM Skyline imports. They're not good. They're really not good. You're getting an RB20 DE with 120 horsepower, rear-wheel drive. You're essentially driving a square Altima. But I'm not getting it for the driving dynamics. I just love the look of the Skyline. Why? Why do you like the look of the Skyline? You understand in Japan it's not like considered a special car, and it really shouldn't be. The Skyline and this car are not, they're leagues apart. Infiniti and Lexus, Nissan and Toyota's luxury and heritage product brands are not anything that's to be desired. They're not very desirable cars used. They're not very desirable cars new. They're made for a niche audience of people, drivers and consumers, people who value the quality and who value Toyota's promise to never fuck you in the ass with a purchase, which is true and that's real. New Balances are laced up nice and tight. The polo shirt is tucked. It's lacking a belt. Columbia, we got all this. Look at all, Tommy Bahama. Look at all these brands I'm repping right now. Where else could I be other than here? Beautiful golf course. Membership here annually, $90,000. What does the richest man in the world drive? Or a better question, what could you be driving today? And I want to invite our first guest to the show. I want, you know, whose golf membership we are graciously enjoying to be here.
Yep.
Take a look at all this beauty that surrounds us. We have fountains.
The beauty of nature.
We're in Italy. It was part of that nuts trip we took to Italy in '09.
Back in the old days. It's a nice car, but You ain't seen nothing.
You ain't seen nothing yet, brother. This is a 2006 Lexus GS 350. The richest man in the world drives a used car. I can hear you screaming and clawing at the camera. Silence. The rich man is speaking. The rich man drives 3.5 liters. He takes command of the road. It's a V6. It's got 6 cylinders. That's what the V and 6 mean. Look at that. It even says right there, V6.
For those of you who can't read,
I apologize. I apologize for not being more understanding. You know, part of
door.
ownership of this car is it comes with its own golf bag that's mandatory to own if you have one of these cars. Hence the golf course setting. You know, I got one of these. I got 16 ounce, 12 ounce, 5 irons, drivers. We got all of them.
Putter in there?
I don't know what that is. We got one, whatever it is, we got one of them.
There it is.
Is that the, that's a Wilson.
That's a Wilson.
That's a Wilson. It's got everything a little boy would ever desire. Analog gauges, a digital infotainment system, which was pretty snazzy in 2006 and 2007. And this car is a right-hand drive import. It's got 315 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. This car replaced the Toyota Aristo and the JZS 161, the Lexus GS 300 generation, which I know what you're thinking. Why didn't you buy the GS 300? It added 2JZ, it was turbocharged. Because it cost too much. Because I told everyone I don't want that one, but that's because I'm not a man and I can't face reality, which is that it costs too much and I couldn't afford it. And then when I could afford it, I couldn't afford them anymore because they had skyrocketed in price to be $15,500, and I didn't make enough money at my fast food job to be able to afford a Japanese sports car. What world are you living in that you think a 17-year-old boy can afford a Nissan Skyline? Nick, instead of buying a Lexus, you should have bought a Toyota Supra. I thank you, I didn't think of that one. That's a genius take. That's wonderful, I love hearing that. Nick, instead of your dad's Corolla, you know what you should drive to school? I forgot what it's called. A Koenigsegg. You should be driving a Koenigsegg. Oh, thank you. No, yeah, that's a great idea, that's a wonderful idea. You know what else I should be driving? 911 Roof, 911R, 911 CTR Yellowbird. Why stop there? Nick, you should be driving a Bugatti every day to school. Nick, you're in college now. Don't you think it's time you're due for an upgrade for your car? What world are you living in? We are trespassing on a golf course because I want to pretend it's 2006 and I bought this car new. And here we have a wonderful place to be. It's got wood grain. It's got the tar when we were visiting Japan that I spilled all over my shorts. It's got a Starbucks cup because I want to pretend like I have more money than I actually do. First episode, Lexus GS 350. You're lucky we're starting out small here. We got bigger fish to fry later on. This week it's a Lexus, next week it's a fucking Ferrari. F50. F50 with some kind of crazy rare body kit. You guys are lucky I didn't bring out the real big dog to play for this review. I'm talking, of course, about the Volkswagen Mark 8 GTI. That's the coolest car I've seen in my entire fucking life, man. That's the coolest car I've seen in my entire life, the Mark 8 GTI. And the best part about Volkswagen drivers is they all really care about what stage tune they're on. What stage are you? Dude, stage 2? Mine's a stage 2.5. Mine's stage 6. My Volkswagen, it's stage 1 million. We're cutting off this Civic, we're having a good time. Really, that's just what this car's all about. It's about mogging people on the roads that you have a car that weighs 3,800 pounds. That Civic, that 91 Civic hatch behind us probably weighs, I don't even know, 1,000 pounds maybe less. What do you guys think about this car? I think it's pretty snazzy. I seem to like it. You know, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of driving this thing. I like taking turns at a speed that's way too fast because I have winter tires on my car still and it's September. And I know you're thinking, oh, he just put winter tires on early. Nope, I never took them off. Here we go, we can start maneuvering here. It's a little right-hand drive moment. This is what we like to call a right-hand drive moment, is this merge coming up here. Is I'm gonna have to lean all the way over because my car steering wheel's on the wrong side and I'm gonna have to see if there's any cars coming. I think we're in the clear. I think we're in the clear. I think we're in the clear. And we can start to pick up a little speed, not too much because there's cars ahead of us. We can pick up just a touch of speed, just a taste, just a tickle to really make you feel like, whoa, this car's got power. This is a 3.5 liter V6 Toyota 2GR FSC dual injection. You know, this is not the one from the Camry. This is a better one. And nice little potholes. This thing just eats the potholes for breakfast. This car's diet is made of potholes because of how much I like to take care of her. You know, I like to keep her well fed on potholes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree. Absolutely. All 10,000 pounds of this car really help you slow down. Look at all this help. Look at all this help we're getting. Shouldn't slow down because there's a white lifted Dodge Ram behind us who has a dog hanging out the window. And that's how you know that guy's ready for the effing apocalypse, you know? What can I even say about what it feels like driving this car? Well, you've got an ion clean feature in the interior here. It cleans the air for you as you drive. That's pleasant. That's nice. You know, there's many aspects about driving this vehicle that you wouldn't even think about. Like, it's rear-wheel drive. That means you can take turns really quick. Wrong. Can't do that because the car's so heavy. Okay, well, at least it probably helps with, like, efficiency. Not really. Not particularly. The car doesn't really have anything that makes it interesting to drive in literally any aspect other than the fact that it's a right-hand drive car. That's the only interesting thing about the driving experience. And trust me, the novelty wears off about week one. Week one, the novelty wears off. The second you have to go park in your university and you have to do the dance and buggy, like you have to do that whole little maneuver of, oh, okay, I'm gonna go pay at the parking meter. What do I have to do? I have to get out, have to open my car, have to walk around, pay for it. There's a lineup of girls in their mom's Kia Sorentos behind me, shocked, stupefied, mouth agog, just not understanding what I'm doing. And is it really that hard to figure out? It's a right-hand drive car. I mean, come on. What is there to figure out about this? There's not a lot that really comes to mind when I say that this car is a gray piece of metal with 4 wheels, steering wheels, 5 wheels actually, 6, spare plus steering wheel. So 6-wheeled Lexus, that's the name of the review. 6-wheeled Lexus much? It's not anything about it that's spectacular in the driving experience, but the little luxury touches around the interior are very nice to have. Heated and cooled seats. As I mentioned, the air ionizer. It's got climate controls integrated into the dash. That's pretty nice. These are some pretty nice touches. The rain sensing wipers, that's a pretty interesting feature for 2006. Interesting is the wrong word. That's a handy feature for 2006. What has it been? It's been 18 years since this car was new. You know, does it feel like an 18-year-old car? Sure, in some aspects. Absolutely it does. The AC vents spitting up black foam pieces that are more like, you can absolutely tell more likely than not they are just horrible for your health. They are so bad for you to be breathing that in. But it's okay, Lexus, put the air cleaner. That's what makes it good. That's what makes it okay. You know, this car, it's Dad's third choice. You know, this car was no man's first choice. No guy was picking this thing out of all the other options on the market. It was just, you know, it's cheaper. It's cheaper than a 5 Series and an E-Class. I guess I'll get that one. Still want it to be a rear-wheel drive. I guess I'll get that one. And what I really want to highlight about this car, look at this. We got a beautiful rear view camera going. It's wonderful. We got a guy. We can hit him. We can play around a little. We can try and hit him. We'll see. Do you remember after COVID how everybody, and during the Trump re-election campaign in 2020, people kept talking about how what we need is a return to normalcy. What the world needs is a return to normalcy. That's what this car is. This car is the ultimate trust the science, return to normalcy. When I'm driving this car, I feel like I should be wearing 2 masks on the train and wearing a shirt that says I effing love science. I effing love science. I effing love Karl Marx and science. And the most important thing you can do with your life is trust the frickin' science.
a lot of terrorists online and stuff, on like these online messaging groups, will talk about how you have to become a gray man, a guy who can disappear at any time. This car makes you feel like a gray man. Nobody will ever look twice at you driving this thing. It's incredible. It's a perfect gray car. It's boring, it's nice and big, it's wonderful. I used to drive the ultimate boring car, which was a 2010 gray Toyota Corolla, but that's even that car had at least a little bit of spark. That car had a little bit of life to it. This car, this car is like a succubus. This car just takes and takes and takes away from you. It drains your soul energy completely. There's no escape. And that's the fun part, is there's no escape. Which is why this is my, unaffiliated with the official Motor Trend, this is my 2006 Motor Trend car of the year. It can hold 2 coffees in the front, it has an automatic transmission, it has all the things that a good car needs to have. It has excellent driving dynamics, it has driving characteristics that even the Japanese were too lazy to braggadociously whine and complain about like they did with the Celsior. Why are you buying an S-Class? The Celsior and the LS is better. Why are you buying it? Because I wanted an S-Class, dummy. What? I want the W140. I'm not buying an LS 400. You can keep the LS 400. Thank you though. Just put the Lexus in the bag, bro. That's me. That's me talking to all you Gen Z viewers out there. Fuck it, man. Who cares? Literally, who cares about this car? If you're watching this review, you're pondering, you're looking over the purchase of a $7,600 car. Really? What do you think this car is going to do better than other cars in this price bracket? What do you realistically think is going to happen when you buy this car? Nothing. Nothing is going to happen. Is it better than a Camry and an Accord? Sure. Not in the winter. In the winter, the Camry and the Accord kick this car's little ass. This is not an all-wheel drive car. This is a rear-wheel drive. This is for the men. Men drive nice, big, rear-wheel drive boat sedans. Little girls drive Camrys and Accords. Because what's the point of buying a 40-year-old car? It's because you want something that has heritage and esteem and is interesting. It's like, whoa, you drive like an old F100, old Ford F100. That's cool. Why'd I buy this car? I don't know. I can't tell you. A string of bad decisions and even worse outcomes led me here, and I'm fucking trapped. I'm trapped and I have nothing to show for it. I have literally nothing to show for it. I have a stupid fucking right-hand drive car, and I didn't do it because it was cool. I did it because it was cheap. I did it to save a little money. What can I do? When I'm sad, I just do this. Toyota, in all their genius, made a car with a V6, and they engineered that V6 to be as powerful as a 4-cylinder, but use as much gas as an 8-cylinder. Amen. Braking distance, wonderful. Braking dynamics, even better. This car's got $2,000 Brembos on the front and $800 Chinese Temu brakes in the rear, because I didn't want to spend too much money on the rear brakes. They're in the back. What are they doing? They're this big. Front brakes are where you need to put all the money. I think they're ceramics. No, I think they're steel. I literally don't even remember. What else can we say about this car that hasn't been said by... I guess we can say anything, because nobody cares about this car, and there's no good reviews of it, except for Eastern European guys who rip it up and down Warsaw, but they have the GS 300. They don't have the 350. They don't have the big boss motor. When I take this car into Lexus, they say, "Whoa, Nick, are you bringing in the big boss hog?" I say, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm bringing in the boss hog." How tall are you? How tall are you? Do you ever consider that when you're buying a car? Will this car actually fit me? Will I be comfortable in it? My teacher, I'll tell you guys a little story about, I'll tell you a little story. Everyone else has left the video, it's just me and you now. I'll tell you a fun little anecdote. When I was in high school, my biology teacher, Paul, we'll call him Paul, that was his real name, so that's why we'll call him that. He drove a dark green 2002 Toyota Echo every day to school, and he was 6'2". And really, man, you're not for the same money, you could just buy an Accord. I don't understand. This wasn't when the car market was in the shitter. This was 4 or 5 years ago. You could buy a car that you'll actually be comfortable in. You don't have to literally ruin your health
For what? You're 36 and you're hurting your legs every single day during your commute? I'm not tall. I'm 5'9". This car's perfect for me. This car's got plenty of space. You know, I'm 5'9", 276 pounds. I'm a slim little guy. I'm a little boy. Bubble! Yeah. You know, we got that going too, but I know what you're thinking. Well, oh, this car's Lexus's, you know, the front seats, they're pretty long, they're pretty spacious. At least the ES and the GS and the LS. Those are all pretty big cars. They got a lot of room in the front. I wonder what it's like sitting in the back. I wonder if it's like an LS. Yeah, it's probably like really comfortable. No, man, you got another thing coming. The back seats, horrendous, tiny, biggest transmission tunnel hump I've ever experienced in any car. And that's the right word. You don't just feel it, you experience it. The same company that made the LFA also made this car. Fascinating. Interesting. A car company that cares. Lexus had a banner year in 2023, selling, I believe they sold 834,000 vehicles. That's pretty crazy. That's insane. You know, Acura sells about 180,000 cars a year. Infiniti is on its hind legs. Infiniti, they're selling 40,000 cars a year when Lexus sells 800,000. Infiniti's a really good Japanese competitor to Lexus, huh? They're doing a real great job. We've talked a lot about the German competition in this car. What about the Japanese competition? Because if you're cross-shopping this, you're not trying to look for what you're buying instead of a GS. What are you buying? An Infiniti, G35, G37, Acura TL Type S, maybe a TLX if you've got the money. It's better than all of them. I'll give you a little hint. It's better than literally all of them. They suck. Infinitis suck. Infinitis suck. That's my review. Infiniti, it sucks. It sucks if you hate driving it. It's a bad car. You got a VQ, which is, Nissan's competitor to this motor, the 2GR versus the VQ. And an Acura, oh, it's a smooth ride. Ooh, that's a smooth front-wheel drive ride. That's a luxury Honda Accord. Ooh, that's luxury. Ooh, that's a lavish luxury lifestyle. You're driving an Acura TL Type S. Ooh, baby. Ooh, it's got all the Honda guys in the comments just tell me what is it? It's a VTEC J35 maybe? I think it's a 3.5 liter V6 also. But it's front wheel drive, man. It's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. It doesn't drive like this. It's not the same body style. It's just not. The car, sure, is it comparable? Sure. Would you rather be driving an Acura? I don't think so. It's not fun. What do you think about this car? I want everybody quick. New Cash App method down in the link. Find a link in the comments below. New Cash App. Lock in. We got a new Cash App method. Everybody swipe up. New Cash App. Type in free on the send address and I'll send everybody $120. That's the new Cash App glitch. We've all been hearing about this Chase Bank glitch. This is the new Cash App, the Nick Cash App glitch. That's the move of having one of these cars, is you're not a car guy if you don't work on your own car. Yeah, I guess I'm not a car guy then. Sorry. I don't like it. I don't like I'm getting the hot oil on my fingers. Gross. Yuck. Ew. You're getting your hands dirty working on your car like a man would. Like a man? If I work on my car like a man. Alright, buddy. Listen up, fucking hillbilly. This car, it's smooth. It doesn't do that whole dance. What? I need to get a car that can take me to the chicken coop. Shut up. The car is not made for you. The car is made for me. It's made for me to drive and enjoy. It's made for me to laugh at people like you. Driving your little truck. What are you doing? Where are you taking your truck? You need that truck? Really? Do you work construction? Really? Do you actually? Or do you just want a truck? This car really does represent a milestone in Toyota's and Lexus's interior and exterior automotive design work. The engineering that goes into this car, all of the furnishings and finishings in the interior, it just shows you the last generation of what cars used to be and what they used to be like to drive. It's a little archaic, it's a little bulky, it's a little thick in its waist, let's be honest. The car
The biggest travesty of this car is the weight. 3,800 pounds might as well be 38,000 pounds when you're driving this thing. But it's everything you needed and nothing that you wanted. Because let's be honest, you didn't want this car. You wanted something cooler. You wanted a race car. You wanted to be JDM as fuck. You wanted to have a cool Nissan Silvia. You wanted to be like one of those hot rocket teens driving a Nissan Skyline. But that's not you. That's not what you have. Instead, you have this. What more do you want from me? I've told you everything I have to say about this fucking thing, okay? Listen, I'm coming at you here. I'm a simple guy. I'm coming at you. I'm wearing my heart on my frickin' sleeve. I'm totally spilling my guts here. I'm a copy of my old man. I'm a chip off the old block, okay? What else do I have to say to you to make you believe me? Please buy this car. Please believe me. This is a good car. This is a really valuable purchase that you have to make in your lifetime. You either buy this or you buy a Prius and you die. You know, you buy a Prius and you go to hell before you die. That's what I always say. That's what I remember saying to my teachers in first grade. Mrs. Adams, why are you driving a Prius? Did you know that if you buy a second-gen Prius, you go to hell before you die? That's your life every single day in that Prius. Whereas you're getting passed by me doing 300 kph on the highway. I'm ripping, I'm going quick. I'm driving my Lexus, I'm in Lexus world. I'm in a world of lavish luxury. I'm in lavish, luxurious lifestyles. I got my music going, I got my AC blaring. What else do you want from me? What else did you ever want in a car? You just wanted to go to high school every single day, you wanted to study, and you wanted to get into a good college. But instead you had to go to a trade school because your grades weren't good enough because you didn't pay attention. That's you. I know that's you. If you're buying this car, you're like me. That's what happened to you. That's what happened to you, isn't it? You couldn't go, I should really study hard. I should go to university. Wrong. Trade school it is. Woo, I'm getting a 2-year diploma. And I'm going to fucking hell. Oh, man. But that's not you. That's not you. I had a totally wrong read on you. I'm sorry, man. I didn't realize I said those things about you. Maybe you're just like a weird, like, preppy loser. And you bought this because it's the safe choice. What are you doing? What are you doing that you have to make a safe choice with your car? If you want a really safe choice, Cadillac Escalade, brand new. Finance it, $1,400 a month. Today. Today now. Tomorrow. Not tomorrow, today. You're thinking about buying a new Porsche? Do it. Pull the trigger. 911R. No, a 911 GT3 RS. That's what you gotta buy. For going to high school, I don't know. I work at McDonald's and I go to high school. I think I should get a new car. I think I should finance a new car. I don't know, man. I'm making $1,200 a month and the new Corolla is only gonna set me back $980. I can afford it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can and you should. That's the number one thing that you should be doing right now is focusing on buying a brand new car. Why would I want an old car if I can get a new car that does everything exactly the same, marginally better? I don't know. I dread every fucking time I get in this car because it sucks. This car fucking sucks. It sucks, man. It's slow and it's heavy and it's not cool and people don't look at me because I am vain and I do want the attention that comes with driving a cool car. Literally every single day, I dream that this was a Toyota Supra. I dream this was a new Corolla. Every day I dream this was a new Corolla because at least that would be new and it would be lower mileage than this thing. I'm gonna drive it until the fucking wheels fall off because I made my bed. I have to sleep in it. I've been trying to sell this car to you the whole time. This is a warning. Do not buy this car. If you see one of these on Facebook Marketplace, run. Run as far as you can away from it. Follow your dreams. Study hard, get into that good school, and buy a BMW. Because you don't want to be me. You don't want to end up like me. You don't want to end up driving this thing like I do. Every single fucking day. Every day of my life is exactly the same. It's like that 9 Inch Nails song. We just go, and you can't really understand what it is, what it is about this car that makes you feel so alienated and hateful, but it's certainly there. There's nothing more in this entire fucking dead world that I hate more than driving this car. And that's like a sort of a black and white French movie outro. Fin, exit. End the movie. Right here, end it.
You know who likes these cars? MILFs, cougars, spinsters, any number of attractive ladies. And I would know.
Just cut it there.